Hello, my friends. Oops, just realised I don't have my watch. Well, I guess we're going by this today, because I'm not going back in. Alright, I'm just actually, my niece and nephew are waiting to wave goodbye to me, so I'm just going to go straight up the road. I'm going to have a stop in a second. So let's just get going, just bear with me for today. Everybody? 3, 2, and 1. Bye! Okay, I'm going to have us run for about 10 seconds, and then I'm just going to have us stop. I am recording this on Earth Day, so it's really important to me. Can you just stop for a few seconds here and just find some way to ground yourself in nature? I'm going to touch this tree that has been here my whole life, 34 Earth Days. I'm going to touch it and feeling thankful for it. I want you to find something to ground yourself in with, and just be aware we are here on this planet. If you don't have anything in nature, just ground your feet. Remember where you are. Right, you ready? We're going to start our actual run. I'm going to try and remember this. So 1.5, so I want to be done at 46.5. Okay, and 3, 2, and 1, off we go again. Okay, so, as I said, recording this on Earth Day, which also means it's the day before the London Marathon. I'm running London tomorrow. First time in 2016 I last did it. So, is that 7 years? Whoa, 7 years. Nuts. First time in 7 years. I'm excited. I'll tell you more about that. But yeah, I wanted to take you for a run on Earth Day. Do something together. While it's not going to be Earth Day when you hear this, you would have probably felt some pangs of connection to the ground, connection to the earth on that day. Would have maybe seen some like touching ads or something on that day. But I want to remind you, even though the day you're listening to this is not technically Earth Day anymore, every day is Earth Day. Every day. We need to make this commitment to our mother. We need to make some appreciation and change as often as we can, push for it every day. Not just on days when brands spend a lot of money saying we care. So that said, I'm going to try and do a loop with as much nature as I possibly can. A little colder than I thought it was going to be. Actually, my hand's cold. And as I said, it's going to be 45 minutes today. I'm running London tomorrow, which 45 minutes is still quite a lot. Day before a marathon. But I still haven't 100% decided what I'm doing, but I am going to somewhat run it hard. And I've got so much to share with you about my week, about Boston, a lot of stuff you obviously got to hear, or maybe you did, the Tracksmith Shakeout the day before the Boston Marathon last week. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you didn't listen to that one, it doesn't matter that the marathon has passed. Some amazing stories in there of people who have overcome some really hard things. They're running for the reasons that are important to them, making change in areas that are important to them. Representation was a big message that came up across all of the interviews I did on that day. Really powerful. So who are you running to represent today? I'm going to ask you this now, and then we'll get into the body scan. But who are you running to represent? What group or part of you, identity, just some element of who you are has felt like you didn't have anyone who felt like you, looked like you, connected with you. I mean, I know most of the running world is targeted towards someone like me, former elite, skinny white woman, but I know that's not probably 90% of you listening, so maybe 99%. So who are you running to represent? Who's the role model you wish you had when you were younger? Just want to give you a minute or two to think about that before we begin our usual meditative elements, because that's very much been on my mind this week. Just a few more seconds. Okay. And I'd love if you would share this with me when you listen to this episode. Go ahead right now while you're running, if you can, take a screenshot of this episode, take a picture of you at some point during this run, and share it with me either on your social media publicly. You help to get others to do it, or just send it to me separately and tell me your answer. Who are you running to represent? What representation do you wish you saw when you were younger? I really would love to know what running means to you in that way. Okay, right, let's go back to our usual and go do a body scan. Need to remember to keep doing this easy. It's so easy for me to run fast in England. I don't mean easy as in I guess I do feel good because the weather is usually pretty perfect for it. But it's just like my old haunts, my old spaces and places. So many memories attached. I'm running along the bridle path right now. One of my favourite places to run around here. And so it's easy for me to get carried away. I have to remember to slow it down. Oh my God, I'm coming across a park run. Well, that's a bit sad. I should have done that. And if you don't know what a park run is, I'm going to explain in a minute. I want to let you hear the sounds of it. Well done. I forgot they had one here. I have to do it sometime. Well done. Oh, wish I'd known about that or thought it through. So, parkrun. Well, there's an episode with Paul Sinton Hewitt, who's the founder of Parkrun on my podcast. He's a friend. Parkrun is basically something they do, well, worldwide, but primarily in the UK. It's a free 5k every Saturday morning at 9 a.m, I believe. Is it 9 a.m? Yeah, it must be. And just host a 5k, volunteer-led, no entry fee or anything, it's free. No minimum speed, you can walk the whole thing if you want to. Families do it. People do it every week as kind of like a running streak morning. As a running streak to, I've done 100 park runs, I've done 300 park runs, whatever it might be. Just a really amazing thing to get people outside and to, just be inclusive. Exactly what we were talking about, that representation, right? It's not an expensive race. There's no medal at the other end. Just humble, simple, community-led and organised. It's beautiful, really. So, if you ever come to the UK, you can look up the address and see if there's one near you and go do it. Well, apparently I didn't. I have done many before, but not this time. By the way, so my accent sounds stronger today. I'm very curious the difference this week to last week. I've been in the UK 3 days now. It usually comes back pretty quickly. Okay, right, now we need to begin our body scan. Also going to head up a big hill that I'm going to go to do one of my favourite bits of running. So I get across the road. So, if you haven't done a together run before, this one is definitely a bit off script, a bit different, and it's shorter. But what we're going to do, we're going to start at the top of our heads, work our way down, just checking in with the various parts of our bodies, just to see how we're feeling. And I'm going to guide you through it, so you can just listen for my words and do what I'm telling you. And let's begin. Okay, starting at the top of your head, working your way down, checking in with your eyes, making sure you're not scrunching, holding on to any tension in your eyes. As you continue on down through your nose and into your mouth and jaw, make sure you're not holding tension, not clenching your jaw. Nice and relaxed and loose. As you continue on down, working into your shoulders, the front of your shoulders, the back of your shoulders, all around that upper part. Going into the top of your arms as you work your way down your biceps and triceps. Continuing on through your elbow into the forearm. Continuing on down into the wrist and hands. Checking in with your fingers. Make sure everything's nice and relaxed. You're not holding tight, holding tense. If you are, just give those arms a little shake. Continuing on down through the chest, into your stomach and lower back. As you continue on down to your hips and pelvis, just checking in. Going into the quads and hamstrings. How's everything feeling? We're going to keep on going to the front of the knee, around to the back of the knee, going into your calf and shin, going into your inner ankle and your outer ankle. So you continue on down to your heel and arch, going into the ball of your foot, and finally into your toes. How's everything feeling? For me, pretty good. Going up a reasonable hill, so breathing a little hard. I keep reminding myself to slow it down. I don't need to power up this today. It is interesting though with the mic. When I have occasionally checked in on something, it sounds like I'm breathing really hard, but when you're with me in person, you'd see that it really isn't. I mean, maybe now, but in general, it's not. It sounds way more breathless than it actually is. Morning. So next, we're going to go on to our sensory check-in. We're going to use our 5 primary senses one at a time to check in, take in our experience of this moment, again ground ourselves, especially on this Earth Day. So I want you to take as deep as you can, 2 nice deep breaths, and you're in time. Because you understand you're not going to be able to take them too deep because you're running. Okay, thank you. What do you smell? I smell fresh. Just like green, clean, fresh air. What do you taste? I taste my toothpaste because that was the last thing I did before I ran. Next, we're going to take 30 seconds and just check in with what we hear. And take your headphones out if you like, or you can keep them in and listen to my sounds. But whatever you do, I just want you to be present in your body and your hearing. Few more seconds. What do you hear? Okay, thank you for sharing. What did I hear? I heard that man squeaking shoes until he turned off. I hear the birds. I hear quiet out in the countryside. Love that my parents' house is so close. Like, she could have got there quicker, but I like to go that way I went. I hear the wind, my footsteps and breathing. Yeah, just really nice. And nice to pay attention to it, because quite often we don't. Morning. Okay, next we're going to do a sense of tactile touch. What do you feel? What do you feel in your body? Not talking about emotions at this point. What are you aware of? What is sensations is your attention being drawn to? Let's go ahead and do that now. Keep following your awareness. This is not a pick 2 things and then you're done. Just keep on following it. Where's your attention being drawn? A few more seconds. Okay. What did you feel? Where was your attention being drawn? For me, I feel the cold on my fingers, feel the rocks on this dirt under my feet, uneven, feel the damp air on my quads, feel my hat, the bit, what's the word? The bit that's resting on my head. Bill? No. Anyway, you know what I mean. And finally, overused sense vision. I want you to just be present in your body and tell me, just be aware, follow where your eyes feel like they're being drawn to. But as always, make sure at some point you take in some details of something, as if you're taking a mental photograph of that moment. So let's go ahead and do that now. Squelch. A few more seconds. She forgot I was recording then. Okay. It's just like in my own world. I'm in this little 1,200 metre loop that I just, want to swear, love. It's just like so beautiful. There's bluebells, there's like thousands of trees. Just, I've got yellow flower I can see in the fields next to me. I've got nice squelchy mud that I can see that reminds me of home. I've got holly, like holly you see at Christmas. These bluebells are just like spectacular. I just see grass, and not like manicured grass, but just proper grass, long grass. And it's just breathtaking. Just feel so at peace and just loved. I encourage you, if you're not able to run in the trails, or if you're not able to get out to immerse yourself in nature, find something somewhere near you sometime soon and just bathe in it. This is called forest bathing. And just immerse yourself in it. And I promise you, whatever is going on in your world, you'll feel like it's going to be okay. And that even applies for me thinking about the climate crisis, because it's real, it's here, it's happening. People are already being killed and murdered and destroyed just through the side effects of it. People that didn't do anything to deserve that, people that didn't contribute to global emissions. And yet, when you feel hopeless, helpless, like you can't do anything else, immerse yourself in nature. I feel hope. I feel love and belief that we're going to be okay. And so, yeah, I probably should start heading back home. Yeah, it's just amazing. Okay, so that's what I saw. I already shared it with you. So we've done our site, we've done all our sensors. Thank you for taking the time and the energy and the attention to do that. I know it's, a little goldfish now, aren't we? We don't have any attention spans. But doing something like that is so important for our bodies and our minds to just slow down enough to pay attention. So well done to you. And I hope it feels good for you when we do this. It does for me. I'm just going to give us, honestly, give myself, as this is the only time I'll run here during this week at home, a minute of just running. I want you to just take all those senses and just take in this run. All 5 of your senses, your other senses too. Just be present in this run. Let's just have a minute. I want to soak this in. Okay. Thank you for indulging me in that. Next, I'm going to do a mental health check-in. So, if you haven't done one of these runs before, I'm going to ask you, how are you? Really? And regardless of whether you're a private person, and if we were in person, you wouldn't have said anything, or whether you would, tell me how you're really doing. I want you to just take the time to talk to yourself, to admit to yourself, how are you? Really? So beautiful, isn't it?
It's lovely, really nice.
Yeah. Enjoy. Happy Earth Day. Yeah. There you go. It's a good example of average person has no idea. Which, is what it is. Okay, well now 2 more people know it's Earth Day. Okay. Give you a few more seconds, sorry. Got distracted. How are you? Really? Okay, thank you for sharing. How am I? Really? Hey, first thing that comes to mind is gratitude and love for being able to be out here today, being so close to that beautiful forest that I just adore, and other ones, very fortunate. My parents live so close to so much beauty. And also I want to add, when we talk about beauty, it doesn't have to be just want to say 30-minute group. You can come to a walk. Yeah, we're over, aren't we? Come to a walk, do some strides in a minute. When I say beauty, we often feel like to show beauty we have to show this Grand Canyon or, you know, the pyramids or, well, those aren't man-made, I suppose. I mean, those aren't natural. We have to show, you know, the Great Barrier Reef. But it's really not about that. Yes, travel helps us expand our horizons and learn, but we have nature to be appreciated, all of us. It might be a lone tree in your area that survived against all the odds. It might be like when I ran through East St. Louis with Mike Wardian, we saw trees growing out of buildings. And obviously there's so much there with that situation, but resilient. It might just be like what I'm looking at right now, just some grass and hedges. You have nature around you, and just you can find a way to look closely at it, the intricacies of a simple tree bark or a blade of grass. It doesn't have to be about these grand gestures of influencers, and probably including myself, who show, look at me and where I am. This is nature. I love nature. Hashtag nature. What it's really about is feeling connected to where we are and to each other, and recognizing that this whole system balances on all of us together. Humans aren't superior. We just have a different strength. And so getting out in nature in any way is going to help us recognize the gift that we even have to be alive right now. And the interdependence of all of us, these ecosystems that all work in this fragile, perfect, delicate balance. I'm sorry, I know I've got off topic. And actually, you know what, friends? I don't even know if I want to interrupt this to do our strides today. So, if you want to do strides, may I have you do them in your own time while I'm running along talking. But I just feel this so strongly right now that I want to keep talking on it and want to keep recognizing this moment, because I am in the fields. It's beautiful. It's just nature all around. But it's also, right, if you look at it, or at least at first glance for me, it's grass. It looks like grass. It's long grass. Nothing special. Most of us would take it for granted. But there's so much out there. So many little plants in between. There's so many animals and living things in that grass. And so, as I'm doing this on Earth Day, it's especially powerful for me. But for you, just because Earth Day is past, doesn't mean just like, oh well, on to next year. Just go out, put your phone down at some point, go outside and find some element of nature. I know people are probably going to stare and be like, what's that weird person doing? Can I warn you, I'm going to swear. Jeremy, you can block this out. F*** them. Seriously, like, they might see you and think, what are they looking at? And yeah, most likely they'll be like, whatever, walk on with their day. But maybe they'll just take a moment to look too. Or maybe they'll talk about it to someone later that day. And that person later that day might be like, oh yeah, maybe they were doing this. Or it might lead them to a conversation about climate change. But if you do it in front of people or not, just find some way to look at the details of some element of nature today. We always ground ourselves in nature, but like, take it in, look at it, touch it, smell it, feel it. Hear the noise it makes as you touch it. I'm looking at stinging nettles right now. Those in the UK know what that is. We all know the sensation that brings, but it's a way of that plant protecting itself. Also see the perfect example of dock leaves near to these stinging nettles. And for those elsewhere, stinging nettles are these leaves of this plant that if you touch it with your skin, it is an irritant. It makes it sting. Not quite as severe as like a bee sting, but not far off. Comes up in a bump. Usually goes away within an hour. The sting. But if you find a dock leaf, which are these big green leaves that grow nearby, like how amazing is that? They grow nearby. If you rub it on your sting, the bump where you got stung, it'll go away. I mean, if that's not the best example of nature being interdependent, working together, but I don't know what is. A leaf that grows near, always together, to a leaf that stings and hurts us. It's amazing, isn't it? I think so. So how am I really? I think you can tell in my voice. I'm grateful, number one. I'm also feeling exasperated, you know? I just wish people could see the world the way I see it. And I also know that everyone's just doing their best. I just nearly ran out in front of that car. Forget that. Sometimes I forget the rules of the road. I wasn't that close to running in front of it, but I had an urge for a second there to run across. People are just doing the best they can, right? We're all doing the best that we can. And they're not thinking about it because they've got other things on their mind, very stressful present things, or that's definitely a privilege to be concerned about climate change in the future. Or they're thinking about something they were raised to think about, or they're thinking about because of a trauma. It's not that people don't want to care about the earth. It's just like priorities and not knowing any different. So, yes, we want to try and get everyone to care and to think and to be aware. But we've also got to give everyone grace. And that's what I'm working really hard on. That we're just doing the best we can. And yes, executives at BP, are they doing the best they can? It's hard to believe that, but they're also in a very stressful job that has a hell of a lot of pressure on them, and they're dealing with so much of their own stuff, trying to work through that. So, yeah, feeling all the things really, and just mostly that yeah, I just hope we can go beyond. Even if I get one or two of you to start thinking about the steps you can take, that's something. And on that note, I shared on my social media on Earth Day about things you can do beyond saying happy Earth Day, love the earth. I put some things on there, including offsetting your annual emissions. There's an amazing calculator that can do that, and you can offset it. I gave you some suggestions of where you can offset. You could also sign up for 100 days of sustainability. 100 emails, short emails I send out every morning to learn about little changes you can make. You don't have to do all of them. I don't expect you to do all of them. And I haven't done all of them. But it's something. You could pre-order Zoe and I's book, Becoming a Sustainable Runner. You can do it on Kindle. You can do it on Audible. You can do it in your local bookstore. You can request the book. And it's also in all the major booksellers. And you can check out our packing guides, our sustainable packing guides on the Running Through Our website. There'll be links to all of these in the show notes. You can go get them easily. But these packing guides, we have one for travel. We have a Chicago and a New York packing guide. Go get some of those. Oh, this woman's not looking. Right, friends, we are coming to the end here. My niece is going to meet me on the street to do a few minutes with me. I think I might, she's out there, actually have you wrap it up with her. Yeah, but as this is going to be more of a light-hearted end, I want you to think about it today. When you finish this run, take a picture and share this episode. Please, I think this is such a powerful thing you can do. Because maybe someone's never thought about things in the way I spoke about them today. So you sharing it through a screenshot of the podcast saying, go listen to this. You taking a picture with the nature you see around you and sharing it on your social media or sharing it in your running group. It all helps. It all matters. So thank you for joining and listening. I'm going to meet Charlie here. Oh, and Ben. And my mum. I'm going to take Charlie with me for a few minutes and finish up. Charlie, you want to run with me for a few minutes or are you going to scoot? Okay. Jess, you okay if I record her for a minute? Okay, come with me then. Let's go this way. Right, you ready? Okay, let's go for a little run, shall we? We'll go whatever speed you want. Wow! Speed demon! You are so fast. Hey, my friends are listening to this on my phone. Can you say hi to them? What's your name? Charlie. And what am I to you? Who am I? Auntie Tina, right? Yeah, you want to turn around in a minute? You want to turn around now? We'll keep going to the road. What do you want to do? You ran so fast, should we turn around now? Yeah? Alright, let's turn around. Let's go back to Mummy and Annie and Ben. Oh, and she's off again. There they are. I'm running towards them. There they are. Hi. Oh, there he is. We're just running back to the road, aren't we, Charlie? Come on, let's get to Nanny. Yes. Let's get to Nanny, shall we? And we made it! High five! Yeah. And Charlie, can you say to me, Can you say happy Earth Day?
Happy Earth Day.
Can you say happy Earth Day, Ben? Yeah, thank you. All right, friends, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.